Welcome, everyone. This is Tracy J reporting to you from southern France. We are a little north of Marseille, a little north and east, in a beautiful wooded area in Sainte-Baume. And we'll be heading up this trail, the Tashen, which means the three dog trail, to get up to the beautiful chapel created for her, basically set into a cave up these big cliffs. So here we go. This is how beautiful the trail looked on the way up. Our friend Natalie joined us for this. So this is her ahead of me on the trail. And this is a beautiful little sacred spring that's there where you can stop and get some water, which we needed to do. It was quite hot the day we were here, around 94 degrees, and having to hike steadily upward for about 35 minutes or so. We were very happy when we got to this point where you could actually see the chapel ahead through the trees. And then we just had a last final climb up some stairs to get there. So the first thing that we see is obviously an older installation, more focused on Jesus and the two others who were being crucified at the same time, with Mary Magdalene standing beneath him, crying as he is being put up on the cross. And when you go up a little further, this is just outside the chapel itself, and it's a statue of Mother Mary holding Jesus while Mother Mary prays, for his well-being after they have taken him down off the cross. And it oversees a really beautiful area that you see below with farmland and, all kinds of green wooded areas. So you can see part of the cliff here in this next picture and the entrance. And there were some beautiful stained glass windows inside. And then many different sculptures of both Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene inside. I'm going to read to you this beautiful plaque that was created in 1914 by someone who wanted to make a donation. And it says, Au divin Rabboni. So a lot of people referred to Christ as the rabbi, right? Because that's the area of the world he was in when he was first saying his messages. And he was, raised in Judaism. And so they called him rabbi. And its translation means God of love, God of bounty, God of my heart's accord. Oh, that I could love everyone with all my heart, like you have loved Mary Magdalene, and that the only recompensation of my love would be to love you always to my advantage. Anyway, it was quite beautiful. There was a lot of love letters that people wrote as part of their donation, having those put into the chapel to help provide the funding for this. There's another very beautiful one with angels and Mary Magdalene in this case. And then I went down some stairs, and there was another little area. I tried to take the pictures. You could see, how you really are in a cave. It goes very high up, and there's occasional little places where light spills in. And this is as I exit, once again, looking at that beautiful statue and the valley. So as I left the church, I went back down the stairs and found the path that I needed to find to go to the Cave aux Oeufs. There were green lines painted on some of the stones that I could follow. And so I followed this very beautiful path for quite a while and up to where it opened out back to seeing all the fields again. And then the green lines simply disappeared and I couldn't find them. And I went for quite a while further, maybe 15 minutes or so. But given the temperature and that Natalie had just flown in the night before, they had gone back down to the car, she and Peter, and I did not want to keep them waiting long. So at one point, I did find this beautiful little altar built in to the side of the wall with a similarly shaped mini cavern that the cavos should have been, and it had quite nice energy. So I stayed there for a while and then began my return back to the car and ran into someone else who was also there, really just standing and praying to Mary Magdalene at another place. And so I joined in with her and asked her, would she mind if I sat with her and did a little channel for Mary Magdalene? And so please enjoy what Mary Magdalene had to say.
Beautiful ones, I am so grateful that you are coming to my mountain, that I felt such sacred energy. I would feel close to Jesus and to God when I was here, and I knew that one day those who were ready to be the voices of calling in the return of the honoring of the divine feminine would find their way here and other places where I have created beautiful energy vortexes for you to bathe in and receive my gifts. Feel me as I give you the gift of grounding into your divine sacred power. This is a place that is open and spacious and rooted, and bends like a willow when there are different opinions, and yet stays rooted in your truth, waiting for the moment where the other has softened and is ready to hear the message. I invite you to find that place where you can sink into your pelvis a little more deeply and ground more deeply there. Yes, do you feel that difference, that power that comes from being rooted in that second chakra? Now I invite you to feel me filling your heart chakra, knowing the love that I blessed everyone with during my lifetime, and that I have left as my consciousness for all of you to enjoy. As you receive this, you may notice yourself smelling flowers, or the feeling of a soft breeze blowing on your face. For those of you called to my energy now, I wish you to know that you can simply go, Magdalena, I need you now, and you will feel me standing there at your shoulder, ready to support you in all your endeavors. I preached the gospel of Jesus as well as my own teachings in many regions through Spain, France, Italy, down even into Africa and other places as well. But then I would need to retreat up into the mountains to re-energize myself, to reconnect, to bond with Gaia, and find the strength and fortitude I needed to continue on. Sometimes a chosen few would join me up here, those who were true devotees who wanted to learn everything and to carry on the messages sent mouth to mouth, knowing this would be the only way the true words would be spoken, because, of course, even before I died, I knew there were those trying to corrupt the words of Jesus, to turn them into something like an angry father punishing his children, when the true words of Christ were only love each other, treat each other as neighbors, forgive each other, live in love every moment. And this does not mean you cannot be angry. There were times when something was truly a violation of what was just and loving. Christ would speak out in anger about it. But as soon as he had spoken it, it was over, the storm was over, and he returned to a balanced and centered place. I ask and allow that these energies be available to all who see this video, whatever timeline they are in. Thank you for joining. Thank you for receiving my beautiful, loving heart. And so it is.